Hey everyone, so today's lesson is on arc length. So first thing I want you to recall is to find the circumference of a circle. So remember the formula to find the circumference of a circle. So we've got C is equal to pi times by diameter, pi times d. Okay, so this time we're going to talk about just a section of the circumference. So the arc length, what we're talking about is that there area that I've just highlighted. Okay, so it's that length there that we want to calculate. So it's not the full circumference, it's a fraction of it. So I want you to think about it in terms of fractions. So what fraction is that going to be? So it's going to be 70 out of a possible, so we've got 70 degrees here, right? So if you think about a full circle, we've got 360, so that fraction is 70 out of 360, and it's going to be times by pi times by diameter. Okay, so it's a fraction of it. Okay, so in general, this formula you're going to need to remember. So it's going to be theta. So anytime we're talking about angles, we often call it theta. So it's just like an unknown. So it's whatever the angle is. Theta divided by 360 times by pi times by diameter. Okay, so the arc length is that. Arc length is equal to that. So you need to remember that. That is one of the formulae that you're going to have to remember. So that's a D. Okay, so let's jump straight into an example. Right, so when you're doing your Haggerty Maths clip, your task, you're going to be asked to give it in different ways, or you give your answer in different ways. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you examples of everything that you need for your quiz, but you just need to be careful when you're completing it that you're given the correct form, okay? So the first way that you could be asked is to calculate the arc length of a circle in terms of pi. So let's say I've got a radius of 5 there. So let's say radius is equal to 5. So that means my diameter is double it. So it's going to be 10. Okay, so when you're starting these, always start with your formula. So it's theta divided by 360 times pi times by diameter. Okay, so theta in this case, there's a little square there, so that means it's a right angle, so that means it's 90. So that is 90 divided by 360 times by pi times by 10. So if you put that into your calculator, you would get 2.5 pi. Now, when you're asked to give it in terms of pi, that's you finished. That's all you need to give, okay? So my units, it's a length, so it's centimeters. Let's call that 5 centimeters. Okay, so the only other step for part 2 to 1 decimal place, all you need to do is when you've put that into your calculator, press your SD button. So you got 2.5 pi is equal to 1 decimal place, we get 7.9. And again, my units, centimeters. Okay, so pause the video, have a go at the next one. Or let me see, let's call this 10 centimeters. So we've got a radius of 10. So have a go at this, pause the video, have a go, and then we'll go through it. Okay, so again, starting with our formula, theta divided by 360 times pi times by diameter. So fill in what we know. Theta in this case is our right angle again, 90 degrees. So it's 90 over 360 times by pi times by what? So the radius is 10, so the diameter is 20 times by 20. And in terms of pi, when you put that into your calculator, you should get 5 pi centimeters. Okay, so then for part 2, again, all you need to do is press your SD button to get to 1 decimal place, 15.7. And again, my units, centimeters. Okay, so let's have a go at another one. So this time we've not got a right angle, we're given that the angle is 120 degrees. So my radius, let's see what we know. Our radius is 15. That means my diameter is going to be 30, double the radius. Okay, start with your formula. Theta divided by 360 times pi times by diameter, which is 30. So in this case, we've got 120 is my theta, so it's 120 divided by 360, 120 over 360, which is a third, times by pi times by 30, and if you put that into your calculator, you will get 10 pi. Okay, so again for the second part, all you need to do then is press your SD button and you will get 31.4 to 3 significant figures. So 31.4159 is what you should get in your calculator. It goes on forever. And to 3 significant figures, remember that's my third significant figure, it's 31.4. Okay, again, pause the video, have a go at the next one, then we will go through it. Okay, so we've got a radius of 4 and a diameter of 8, double it. Okay, so start with your formula, theta divided by 360 times pi times by diameter. So we've got theta in this case is 30 over 360 times pi times by 8. Okay, so into your calculator, 30 over 360 times 8 times pi. So we've got, in terms of pi, it's 2 over 3 pi, and my units, in this case, meters. Okay, I forgot my units there, it's centimeters and centimeters. Okay, and again, part 2, all you need to do, press your SD button, and to 3 significant figures, you should get 2.09, again, meters. Okay, so the next thing, before you do your quiz on Heggerty Maths, I just want to give you one more example to be careful of for your last 2 questions of the quiz. Okay, so we'll start with this one. So our radius is 20, so that means my diameter is double it, so it's going to be 40. Now, what is my theta this time? So this time, we're not interested in that 63, we want that there, angle there. So to find that, we know that there's, in a circle we've got 360, so we're just going to subtract out 63. So 360, take away 63, you will get 297. Okay, so our theta in this case is 297. So formula again, theta divided by 360 times by pi times by diameter. So we get theta, which is 297, divided by 360 times by pi times by 40. So again, into your calculator, 297 over 360 times 40 times pi. So you should get 33 pi. And to 3 significant figures, approximately equal to 104 to 3SF. Okay, so now go to Heggerty Maths and find clip 544 on arc length and complete the questions, the quiz.